A winter weather advisory this morning. We do have a bit of drizzle and some icy conditions possible. Clouds today, high 38. Partly cloudy for tonight, low 16. It'll be a mostly sunny day tomorrow, a high near 24. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
33 at Hotair. Next news at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560, The Answer, online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, and your Alexa-powered smart speaker, on TuneIn, iHeart, and radio.com. This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Let the record show I saved the show. I'm the one that fixed Amy's microphone after she snapped it.
I didn't snap it. It just fell. It's this thing called gravity.
Yeah.
And sometimes when the nut gets stripped...
You're a blonde around machinery.
Hey, I'm not done talking.
Bad things are going to happen.
Well, who of the two of us do you think has a power drill, a leveler, and a stud finder?
I don't know anything about your weekends, all right?
This guy has one of those. Speaking of guys, today is the day the big thing happens. We're going to find out who the House managers are going to be in the Senate impeachment trial. They're going to do this ceremonious walk to the Capitol with the articles of impeachment to present it with Senate. They're meeting at 9 o'clock our time, and then they're going to start the vote at noon, and then by 5 o'clock, that's when that's going to take place.
Thank goodness we
what
can
are you
ask.
going to wear when you watch?
Yeah, we can ask the conservative Huell Brunner what he thinks. Bring him on.
Oh, yes. First, let's hear from Mitt Romney, who wants witnesses, because all the Democrats need to get is 6 Senate Republicans to change their minds to want, to fall with the Democrats. And Mitt Romney, he's wading around in lukewarm water.
I'd like there to be witnesses and be able to hear from someone like John Bolton. At the same time, I'm comfortable with the Clinton model, which is we hear the opening arguments first, and then we'll have a vote on whether or not to have witnesses.
And will it be a fair trial if there are no witnesses? Mitch McConnell?
Will you be able to block those witnesses?
51 senators will decide who to call. After that, who knows who will employ what kind of legal devices? I have no idea. So, in spite of your very best efforts to fast forward this to that moment, we can't go there yet. So we'll just have to wait and see what the feeling of the Senate is after listening to the arguments and the period of written questions.
You're worse than Dan
Turn
Proft.
off
You're like,
old lady face Mitch McConnell with his one good lip. I can't listen to it.
Well, we can't listen to is Ed Morrissey, who joins us on our turnkey.pro answer line. He's senior editor for Hotair.com. Hello, Ed, and welcome back to the program.
Good morning. Great to be back.
Ed, you remember me. I'm the one who gave you the moniker, the Huell Brunner of conservative news.
Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, that's nice. So you two are friends, right?
Yes, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. So listen, 2 articles, and I know I should take the Bernie Sanders one first, but as you know, I'm an avid aficionado of cigars.
Yes.
Is it true that the police were threatened to arrest the national champion, and I'm not a sports guy, for smoking a cigar while he was celebrating? Is that true?
Several of them. Well, one police officer threatened to arrest several players that were smoking cigars in the locker room after LSU beat Clemson in the college football national championship. And, I mean, his partner was going around telling him, no, we're not going to do that. But the police officer was insisting that they were going to arrest people. They ended up not arresting anybody because, I mean, come on, man. Come on, man.
Ed, for the record, on behalf of cigar smokers everywhere, I say you're going to need backup if you keep trying to arrest cigar smokers. We're not going to go quietly.
You can't smoke in a locker room?
You can smoke anywhere you want. We're men, damn it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. All right, well, back to the next steps in the Senate impeachment trial. Who do you think, what are your dibs on who's going to be House managers?
Well, I think it's going to be Schiff and Nadler. I mean, these were the two guys that quarterbacked it in the House, and I think that that's going to present a very big problem for Democrats when it gets to the Senate, because they're going to ask them specifically about their conduct, specifically Schiff, about his conduct with the whistleblower, the contacts that his staff had with the whistleblower, and I mean, it's going to be it's written questions when the questions come to the impeachment managers in the Senate. But they're going to ask those questions if Schiff is the one that shows up, and I'm almost positive it's got to be Schiff because he was the guy who ran the show.
Is the name of your article going to be the Laurel and Hardy of Democrat blunders then? You could put them as a pitcher?
It should be.
All right,
it should be, Sean. And I might just steal that from you.
Go.
Without even attribution, I might just steal that from you.
Go right ahead.
So then, and then McConnell said yesterday that the trial will begin next Tuesday. How many days do you think this is going to last, or weeks?
Well, the presentment is probably going to be several days. The House managers will go there. They'll present the case. They'll be given time to roll out the case in their own words to the Senate as a presentation, and then there will be an opportunity for written questions to be asked of the House managers. There's also an opportunity for the managers of Trump's defense, which usually would come from the Senate. There's been some effort to perhaps get some of the House Republicans to be part of that team, such as John Ratcliffe, I think, and Jim Jordan. That would be an unusual step. They're negotiating that right now. But they would also be able to present the rebuttal to the House impeachment manager's case, and then there'd be a question and answer period for them, probably primarily from, obviously, Senate Democrats trying to poke holes in the rebuttal. And then at that point, it'll be open for any other motions. Presumably, there'll be a motion for dismissal at that point in time, and then if the motion for dismissal doesn't go through, if it doesn't pass on a majority vote, then they'll start voting on which witnesses to call.
Do you predict, now that Elizabeth Warren is slipping back to the pack in the polls, and her latest charge of backhanded misogyny by Bernie Sanders, is this going to be the new play for her now that people realize there is no there and she's all sizzle, no steak?
I'm curious as to what she thinks she's actually going to accomplish here, because she needs his voters as much as he needs her voters. She needs his voters. She needs to get voters from Bernie Sanders in order to succeed. And by lodging that accusation against Bernie Sanders, she's basically torched his part of the progressive wing. And so I see this as a desperation play. She was not getting any traction. She was losing ground steadily over the last 3 months. And I think that the only way that she saw that she could relaunch the campaign is to have
like
some sort of sexist victimization. Yeah, as a victim, absolutely. And CNN certainly played along with it last night. I don't know if you saw that part.
Oh, yeah, we did. But here's the thing, though. I believe Bernie. I mean, I really don't. I don't think. And President Trump mentioned that too at his rally last night in Milwaukee, that he thinks Bernie Sanders is telling the truth. Who do you think's telling the truth?
Just on the basis of track record, I'd say that it's got to be Bernie Sanders, because Elizabeth Warren lies about a whole lot of things. And this is just so convenient to come out now. I mean, this is something that supposedly it happened 13 months ago, and it's been kept quiet. Then all of a sudden, people are leaking this to CNN the day before the debate, 3 weeks before the Iowa caucuses. And, I mean, it's just so convenient for this to pop out now. I just don't believe in that kind of coincidence.
And she didn't bring it up. She didn't relive the moment last night. She kind of, said her piece. She didn't have to. But then at the end of the debate, I'm sure if you didn't see it, you heard about it. Everybody was shaking hands and they were being cordial with one another. And Bernie reached out his hand to shake her hand, and she wouldn't grab it.
Yeah, I saw the clip, right? And I think she's still trying to sell the fact that she's the aggrieved party here. Mm-hmm. And you could see that Tom Steyer walks up in the middle of that.
I know.
Well, maybe she...
Tom, what were they saying, Tom?
Maybe she didn't want to get aspartame on her hands. But listen, you wrote another article about the Trump border wall funding. I'm curious about this. Where is this going?
Well, they want to take another $7.2 billion out of the Pentagon appropriation to build the wall. They're going to pull it out of other military construction projects, and the reason why is because the courts have so far allowed him to do it, because the only challenges that have come to this are from outside activist groups that don't have standing to enforce Congress's role in appropriations. Really, Congress has to go to court in order to do that.
Do we even have a Congress?
What's that?
I said, do we even have a Congress anymore? I don't know what the hell they do.
No,
I know what they're supposed to do.
They leave on Thursdays, they come back Tuesdays. It's the greatest gig ever.
What a cushy job this is.
Yeah, I'd like to have a part-time job like that. That'd actually be okay. Get long weekends every weekend. It's not too bad. But I have a problem with it because Congress is supposed to have the authority for appropriations. The executive branch is not supposed to be able to to just simply move money around the way it sees fit. It's part of the way that Congress can control the executive, or not control, but have a check on the executive. Yeah. And so I'm not a big fan of this idea. I understand that there's a pressing need for this, but when President Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez sees a pressing need to cap all oil wells on federal land because of climate change and decides to start moving around Pentagon money to do that, we will have set a precedent that is going to be very difficult to challenge at that point.
That is my biggest problem with all of these executive actions. I don't think that the Republican Party and those supporters of Trump understand exactly the precedent they're not only allowing to happen, but they're calling for it. And it's almost as if the country has lost its vision into the future of exactly who we're supposed to be mad at. So our anger needs to be directed towards these feeble, feckless congresspeople. And by the way, Ed, if you do want to be a congressman, the good news about Illinois, you don't have to live here to run for office, as Underwood proved. So feel free to throw your hat in the ring, okay?
I would be glad to do that, except they needed to cover my scalp, as you well know.
Oh,
so,
that's right.
I live here in Minnesota. I can't afford to be without my hat for very long.
That's all right. Mike Scott's got plenty for you. Don't worry. We'll get you covered.
And then our producer told us that you heard my washer and dryer story?
I didn't hear the story, but I heard that you were discussing the washer and dryer. I'm dying to hear the washer and dryer story.
Well,
here.
I have. Okay,
not again.
Get
ready.
Again.
Hope you ate earlier. Go ahead.
Washer and dryer. I've had it since It's been around since 1994. Of course, I moved into the home later. 1994. So how many years is that, Sean? You do the math.
Look at him. It's going to be 24 years or 26 years. Excuse me,
26 years. And I finally got a new washer and dryer, and the back panel came out because it's so old. And you should have seen the mold and these little mushrooms that were growing behind the barrel.
There's the money shot. 26 years old.
Smelled so bad.
Wasn't it covered by Obamacare?
That my washer and dryer? Yeah.
There we go.
So the point of the story is don't wait 26 years to get a new washer and dryer, okay?
Well, I actually did wait 26 years to get a washer and dryer. That happened a couple of years ago. So
what the hell is wrong with you people? Am I the only one here who cares about his clothes?
It's a big difference once you get a new washer and dryer, right, Ed?
It is.
It's a game changer.
It's totally awesome.
Yeah.
Mine is so big I can fit myself in.
My only hope is that Dan Proft, who's normally on the show, he doesn't have a washer and dryer. He has help. And I'm hoping that
does he have a washer and dryer in his condo unit?
Kidding me? He's got a cleaning service. They come in, they do everything for him. I hope that they bring his clothes to a washer and dryer with mushrooms on it, a la Amy.
Look, I'm telling you, there are some things I'm willing to live without, but having lived in an apartment for several years that didn't have a washer dryer hookup, that is like I have to have that. I will never live in a laundromat.
When Bernie Sanders wins the office, brother, you'll be beating your laundry on a rock.
No,
so you better get used to it.
I want laundromat for all. That's what I'm hoping for Bernie Sanders. I want the laundromat for all plan.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much, Ed. Always a pleasure having you on, and thanks for joining us. Ed Morrissey.
Thanks so much.
Yep, senior editor for Hotair.com, and he joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
For over a half a century, Seven Dwarfs Family Restaurant has been feeding and putting smiles on the faces of hungry adults and kids. Their mouthwatering food and unique decor are why they're one of the oldest and most popular restaurants in DuPage County. I used to go there all the time as a kid. Get comfy in a table or booth, enjoy the colorful murals on the wall, and experience why generations of customers have made Seven Dwarfs their regular go-to spot for the best breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Everything on Seven Dwarfs' extensive menu is homemade from scratch, including 3 to 4 daily specials and a choice of 2 homemade soups. And be sure to save room for Seven Dwarfs' popular ice cream and sundaes. When you're craving a truly delicious home-cooked meal but don't feel like cooking, visit Seven Dwarfs Family Restaurant on Roosevelt Road in Wheaton. At Roosevelt and President on Wheaton's east side, Seven Dwarfs is open every day from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Visit sevendwarfsrestaurant.com or call 630-653-7888. Host and owner Sam Sadiku looks forward to serving and welcoming you to Seven Dwarfs family of happy diners.
I'm still trying to fix the mic. I'm doing it right now, Sean. Guess what I'm doing? I'm drinking Balance of Nature. What I do is get hot water.
Drink it? Is that how it works?
Well, I get a cup of hot water and put in 3 fruits and veggie capsules. Coats my throat, helps my immune system, because I'm going to get better in 2020 because I was sick for about 8 weeks because I was off balance of nature.
You're over 50 now, right?
Oh, what? I have 40. And the flu
All
season's
downhill
here.
for the women.
No, the flu season's here. And people are fighting cold. And the best way to fend off the flu and the cold is to have a boosted immune system. And to have that, you need to eat well. And that means fruits and vegetables. And admit it,